Hi, I'm Caitlin and this is my husband Jordan. We are the Towners. We've been married for almost 3 years now and we love to travel and see the world. And because of our jobs, we're able to. I model and Jordan makes films full time.
This year we have like 12 international trips alone. So we get to see and do a lot of really cool things. So we wanted to kind of take you guys along, show you some of the stuff we're doing, and maybe introduce you guys to parts of the world that you'd want to go see or things that you'd want to do.
So today we're going to be talking about Thailand. This last year we went to Thailand 2 times in a matter of 6 months.
Which was crazy.
It was crazy.
The first time that we went there, me and my business partner Trevor, we wanted to make an independent film. So we went to Thailand and Myanmar and we brought our wives along and it was a crazy experience, crazy adventure. The film we made is called JIJIVISHA. It's on YouTube. We'll put a link below. Make sure you check it out. We put all of our hearts and souls into that film, but it was a ton of fun to make. And Katie made a behind the scenes series of that whole trip.
Yeah, I'll have that link down below too. It was so crazy, but seriously, such a fun trip. We got to see so much of Thailand in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And then we got to go back to Thailand a few months later. We went to a different part of Thailand, which was really cool because we kind of got a different perspective. So this video is all about Thailand, traveling in Thailand, things to do, things to go see. So we're gonna start off in Bangkok. This is the capital of Thailand and it is such a crazy, busy city. So the first thing that we recommend seeing in Bangkok is the Dam Nyon Sadauk floating market. I can't ever say it. I guess there's a few different ones in Thailand, but this particular one is the most popular, the most well-known.
Do plan ahead. You got to get up early, and it is probably what, like an hour taxi?
It's a bit of a drive, so plan for that for sure. You definitely have to hop in one of the boats and take a little tour around the floating market because it's such a cool experience. And it's way bigger than it even looks.
One other thing about the floating market is there's some really like fun and delicious food to try right there.
The best pad thai that we had in all of Thailand was at the floating market.
Totally.
You definitely got to try the pad thai there. And they had really yummy coconut ice cream.
Yeah, you were all about that.
It was so good.
Plan like, what would you say, a half day there?
I would, at least.
In the actual city of Bangkok, you have to make sure to hit the Grand Palace. But you gotta be prepared because it's not one of those things you just waltz through the gates and hang out. You've gotta make sure that you're dressed appropriately. You gotta be prepared for the crowds, but it's totally worth it.
From what I understand, the dress code for all of the temples is either a dress or a skirt or pants or shorts, anything that at least covers your knees. And then also you have to have sleeves, so just like a short sleeve shirt or whatever. No belly. I personally liked wearing skirts and dresses because it is really hot there, so that breeze helps.
In case you don't have modest clothes, they do have a place that you can rent, basically like scrubs from them.
Once you get inside of the Grand Palace, it is so amazing. There's like so much to see.
It's like a block of just really intricate, beautiful buildings.
It's just a really, really cool thing to see. It's about an hour outside of Bangkok is probably my favorite thing that we saw, and that was the Sanctuary of Truth. We got a taxi and we just had him stay with us the whole day.
And it wasn't that expensive.
Of all the things that we were gonna go do and see in Bangkok, I was not very excited to go see the Sanctuary of Truth just based on pictures. But when we got there and walked in, I was honestly in awe at how amazing this temple was.
Totally. I mean, it's all carved, hand carved out of wood, and it is way bigger than you'd think, huh? I remember walking away from there and Katie was like, okay, I totally underestimated that place. I think that's one of my favorite things we've seen so far.
Yeah, it was.
The transportation in Bangkok was one of my favorite things, going around those little tuk-tuks, right?
So much fun. There's so much more to do and see in Bangkok. That was just all we really had time to do and see. Look on Pinterest, see things that might interest you. From Bangkok, we went to Chiang Mai, which was such like a breath of fresh air because it's so much more like secluded and more like naturally beautiful.
Some of the main things that people do in Chiang Mai are they go see the elephants or ride the elephants.
If you are going to do that, try and find a true refugee camp that's not cruel to the elephants, that doesn't harm them. One of the highlights for me in Chiang Mai was visiting the long neck tribes. So we visited the Karen Hilltop Long Neck tribe, and it was a really, really cool experience to see these people that you like read about and learn about in school, and to like be actually in their village with them to kind of just learn about why they wear the rings and their culture. I just thought it was such an amazing experience.
Yeah.
Another thing that I personally missed out on, but I really wished that I would have gotten up early with Jordan and Trevor to go see, was the
She was a little sleepy.
That jet lag, man. It's called the Wat Fra Dat Doi Sudep. These Thai words are killing me. It's the temple that has the like dragon staircase. It's really, really cool. That was one thing that I missed out on that I'm now like kicking myself.
The city is known for just having tons of monks that are in training, or these novices, which are like the kids dressed in the monk attire. They pray, they chant. A really cool experience. You got to get up early, talk to taxi drivers or whatever. They all know where to take you or what time you need to be there.
Now for the big face-off, Phuket versus Krabi. Which one should you visit, or should you visit both?
It is a heavily debated subject whether you go to Krabi or Phuket. And that's because there are totally pluses and minuses to both. It really depends on you and what you like. For us, we're bigger fans of the kind of secluded, get away from it all. So if you're looking for heavy touristy stuff, you're gonna find that in Phuket.
There are so many cool things to see in Phuket. Some of our favorites, one was the Wat Chalong Temple. It was just really colorful and really pretty. I thought it was pretty unique to some of the other temples that we had seen.
So you can totally get like your temple fix in Phuket.
Yeah. Another thing is the Big Buddha. It's this massive white marble Buddha that sits way on top of a hill. You don't have to like do some crazy hike or anything. You just drive up and then go up some stairs, and you get an amazing view of Phuket. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And there's like a little mini temple underneath the Buddha that you get to see. So
Totally.
I thought that was really
Definitely
cool.
worth doing.
Also in Phuket, the shopping is really, really awesome.
And this is why we were kind of saying, if you like that touristy stuff, Phuket's probably for you, because the shopping is great, and we didn't really find that as much in Krabi.
Yeah.
I got 2 suits in Phuket. It was $100 a piece. And they were tailored to my body. They made them in like 2 or 3 days.
Just like fun stuff. You gotta experience Thai massage. It is truly a once in a lifetime experience.
If you want to get like intimate with the Thai culture, it can be really awesome. It can feel really nice.
Or it can be really
Or it can be
funny.
a little bit of like a fight, right? I mean, it feels like a wrestling match a little bit.
Yeah.
But highly recommend doing it. There are a lot of different beach options in the Phuket area, and we didn't familiarize ourselves with all of them by any means.
Yeah.
We only went to a few. Our favorite one was Karon Beach. We loved that beach because it was kind of a little bit cleaner than the other ones we had been to. It seemed a little more like swimmer friendly. There were some fun waves there. Not so much boat traffic coming in and out.
Yeah.
So we recommend that one if you're looking for like a fun beach day, and it's just a really pretty beach. As we said, there are some good beaches in Phuket, and I'm sure there's more that we're unaware of. One thing that a lot of the local boat drivers are gonna try to get you to do is go to Coral Island. We wouldn't recommend it. It's just kind of like a touristy little trap, but we would highly recommend jumping on a boat and going out and doing like the cave kayaking.
Yeah, that was so awesome. I know that you can do that in both Phuket and Krabi, but when we went, we did it in Phuket. We were kayaking through these caves and the tide had gotten high, and so they're like, lay down, don't move. And we're literally like inches away from rocks, like just scraping our face. And so we're just like, ah! It was really fun. So you go through these caves and then they open up into these beautiful grottos that are just like,
and there's no other
so
way to get into those
amazing.
grottos other than going through those caves. As far as Phuket goes and things to do nearby, I think the cave kayaking was my favorite thing that we did.
So another thing that's really, really popular to do from Phuket is taking a boat out to see James Bond Island. I personally thought it was really, really cool. I really enjoyed it, but it was very, very touristy. Like there was so many people.
Yeah, I think my expectations were off a little bit because I had seen pictures of James Bond Island, and look it up. It is a really pretty place. We'd still highly recommend going. Just have the expectations of tons of tourists.
Okay, now for my favorite thing that we did in all of Thailand, and that was visiting the Phi Phi Islands.
Whether you do choose Phuket or you choose Krabi, the Phi Phi Islands are totally an option from either side. Some people said it might not be worth it because it looks a lot like the other stuff you see. We totally disagree. It's like
you have
more
to go.
spectacular than anything else we saw.
I wish that we would have like stayed a couple nights on Phi Phi Don because it was just really cool, kind of quaint, really beautiful, and there's really good food there. It
feels really like high class and nice, but it wasn't crazy crowded either at the same time. It's a great hub to like go see everything else. Maya Bay's not too far from there.
It's so beautiful. There's amazing snorkeling. But beware of jellyfish. Oh my gosh, I like was having panic attacks. Like, don't let the jellyfish touch me.
Most of those jellyfish are not gonna hurt you.
Transportation to the Phi Phi Islands. You can either take a longtail boat or a speedboat.
I would say that the boat you choose to go out on could make or break your trip to the Phi Phi Islands.
Yeah. A lot of people that have taken longtail boats out to the Phi Phi Islands have said that it wasn't worth it, that they got seasick on the way out there, that it just felt like it took way too long. So we took from that and we chose to take a speedboat out there and we had zero problems at all.
We were only out on the water for like 45 minutes to an hour and we were still kind of feeling it by the end of it, like because it is wavy. And so we couldn't imagine having been on a longtail boat for like 2 hours in those waves.
So we would definitely recommend taking a speedboat. It will cost a little bit more money, but it's definitely worth it.
We found our speedboat driver just through our Airbnb host. Always talk to Airbnb hosts or your concierge if you're at a hotel.
Moving on to Krabi. I personally was obsessed with Krabi.
For us, Krabi is like, still to this day, it holds this like place in our hearts. It's one of our favorite places we've ever been to.
It's amazing. It's just a lot less touristy. I felt like it was a lot cleaner. I felt like it was prettier than Phuket.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. The formations and just like the overall landscape feels prettier to us.
Yeah.
As we said, we like getting away from it all when we think vacation, and Krabi is that feeling of getting away from it all. Don't get us wrong though, there is like a downtown Krabi area where you can still get like really good food. There's still shopping and stuff.
It's just like one street that has really good food options. We used Yelp and TripAdvisor and found some really, really good food.
Totally.
And then there's a beach right there that's Ao Nong Beach that's beautiful, really clean, really well kept. And also really close to that downtown area in Krabi. You can hop on a longtail boat, which we definitely recommend doing. In Krabi is taking a longtail boat to Railay Beach or Phranong Cave Beach, Chicken Island. There's so much to do and see.
Just exploring all those islands and going to all the different beaches around there and snorkeling.
Totally, and your boat driver will totally like know places to take you. He'll totally be willing to just like, if you see something that you want to go see, he'll totally take you there, pull off, let you hop out. Like,
he's your driver for the day.
They're really accommodating that way. Our favorite Airbnb was in Krabi. We had this amazing infinity pool with ocean behind us and big rock formations just right in our backyard. It was
it was a total dream.
We definitely recommend using an Airbnb. We stayed in Khao Tong in Krabi, which is a really nice area. But I'm sure you could find amazing Airbnbs anywhere.
There are some tricks to finding good Airbnbs. Reading the reviews and making sure that there's at least like 30 or more reviews.
You can also find really cheap hotels, just whatever your preference is. I have to say the best part of all of Krabi, okay, not the best part, but close, is the smoothies there. They are like the most amazing smoothies in the whole wide world.
How many smoothies do you think we put down a day? Like,
we honestly probably had on average 10 smoothies a day, and that's not an exaggeration.
What were your favorite smoothies?
Mango, hands down. The mango smoothie, the banana smoothies were really good.
Yes.
Pineapple smoothies
Pineapple
were really
was
good.
hit and miss, but when it was good, it was really good. The watermelon smoothies were hit and miss, but when they were good, they were really good. And so, and they're so cheap.
They're so cheap.
Have 50 smoothies.
Yeah, every time we got one, it wasn't just one, we got like 3 or 4 just because we wanted to try them all. Definitely drink all the smoothies you can while you're there because we miss it so much.
And for some reason, I don't know why, and maybe it was the time of year, but we didn't have as good of a smoothie experience in Phuket. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. So there was this one place that I found on Pinterest before we went out to Krabi that I was like, this looks amazing. We gotta go do this. Tiger Cave Temple. It looked so amazing that I was like, guys, we gotta do it. But the kicker is it's 1,237 steps or something like that up to the top of this mountain. The reviews that I had read online did say that it was difficult, but I think maybe we were just like, oh, whatever.
That
you know?
applies to everybody else, not to us. We're young.
It's difficult, but it's so worth it. And so I think we just kept holding on to this so worth it.
Yeah.
But it was really difficult. We were just dripping sweat the whole time.
Make sure you're prepared. Have plenty of water if you're going to do it. And we wish we would have started before the sun came out.
I think it would have been a really cool thing to go out while it was still dark, make it to the top and watch the sunrise up there. I think.
And it would have been a lot colder too.
Yeah. Once you get to the top, there's this amazing golden Buddha that's ginormous.
Yeah, it is
this
really pretty.
Quaint little like temple. And then you have an amazing view of all of Krabi. So we would say that it's worth doing, but definitely know what you're getting yourself into if you choose to do this hike.
As far as transportation goes in Krabi, we rented a big van because we had like 15 bags. I loved having a car out there, and I would say it's necessary. But another really fun way to get around, and some Airbnbs have these, is just by getting around by scooters.
If you are going to rent a car, just know that it will be on the opposite side of the road, on the opposite side of the car, and will most likely be a stick shift. So, that was a funny challenge. Yeah. A lot of people asked us what food we would recommend eating while you're there. Some of our favorite dishes were the pad thai.
Definitely, yeah.
So if you love pad thai, if you love Thai food, the pad thai is amazing. Another dish that we loved so much was the pineapple fried rice.
Yes.
It was so yummy. They serve it in like a hollowed out pineapple, and you can get it with like chicken or seafood.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's really fresh. And then the other thing is the masaman curry. I know you were kind of like surprised.
So the masaman's like my favorite Thai dish here. But over there, it just wasn't quite the same. While we were out there, I found myself craving the masaman back home. So there were restaurants that we found that weren't necessarily Thai, but they were still really unique and
we had
and
some really good steaks
Yeah.
or really good European food randomly. Yeah. So definitely use like TripAdvisor or Yelp or just the internet to find some good food options where you're at. Okay, so just to break down cameras for you for a second, we get tons of questions. Don't put any batteries in your checked baggage. Always put them in your carry-ons, because if they're checked, they'll take them away, they'll throw them away, and then you're just stuck without batteries.
Yeah. It's such an amazing part of the world, and it's so unique. You have to document it really well, I think, or else you'll kick yourself after if you don't.
Take tons of pictures, because when you come home, you'll appreciate every picture you have. My
biggest piece of advice for traveling in general is, if there is an activity that you want to do it. If there is something that you want to eat or try, do it. Just really live up every place that you travel to, because you never know when you're going to go back.
Also, Thailand is not the only cool place in this part of the world. Make sure to look at some of the countries around. We went to Myanmar and absolutely loved it.
It was amazing.
You can go to Cambodia. There's a bunch of cool places in that area. So maybe set aside a few days of your trip to go see some other places around Thailand.
If you guys have any other questions or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer all of them and get back to you guys on it. If you want to see more videos like this, we have, like we said, 12 international trips this year, and so it's going to be a crazy year for traveling. We're going to do our best to try and document it all for you guys and share it with you. So again, if you guys want to see more videos like this, thumbs up, and then make sure and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. Thanks again for watching, you guys. We will see you soon.